The bell above the diner door jingled like it always did, thin and tired, but loud enough to cut through the hum of coffee machines and murmured conversations. 12-year-old Marcus Reed flinched at the sound as he slid into the cracked red booth by the window, his sneakers dangling above the checkered floor. Rain streaked the glass outside, blurring the neon "Open" sign into a soft red glow. Marcus was hungry, but more than that, he was nervous. He smoothed the creases in his thrift store hoodie the way his mom had taught him, and set a folded dollar bill on the table. It was all he had, change collected from helping neighbors carry groceries and rake wet leaves. He'd counted it 3 times on the walk over. Across the diner, Officer Daniel Hargrove sat stiff, backed at the counter, his uniform pressed sharp enough to cut paper. He was midway through his second cup of coffee, jaw tight, eyes scanning the room like it was a crime scene instead of a Tuesday afternoon refuge for truckers and tired locals. Marcus caught the look and quickly dropped his gaze. The waitress, Linda, noticed. She always did. She'd worked this diner for 27 years and had developed a sixth sense for trouble, kindness, and everything in between. She approached Marcus with a gentle smile and a laminated menu. "What can I get you, sweetheart?" she asked. Marcus hesitated. How much is the grilled cheese?" $3.50, Linda said. Marcus nodded, doing the math again in his head. "And just water's fine." She glanced at the dollar on the table, then back at his face. "You sure that's all you want?" "Yes, ma'am." Linda gave a small nod and walked toward the kitchen. From the counter, Officer Hargrove watched the exchange, his lips pressing into a thin line. He'd seen this kind of thing before, or at least he thought he had. Kids pretending to be customers, kids loitering, kids casing places. His radio crackled softly at his hip, reminding him of the chaos waiting outside these walls. When Linda returned with the sandwich, she placed it carefully in front of Marcus. The cheese stretched perfectly as he lifted one half, steam rising like a promise. He smiled despite himself. "Thank you," he said quietly. As he reached for the sandwich, his elbow nudged the water glass. It tipped, spilled, and splashed across the table, dripping onto the floor. Oh no," Marcus said, panic rising in his chest. He grabbed napkins, blotting frantically. "I'm sorry, I'll clean it. Hey." Officer Hargrove was on his feet before Linda could respond. His chair scraped loudly as he strode over, boots heavy, presence filling the small space. "You making a mess now?" the officer snapped. Marcus froze. "I didn't mean to, sir. I'm cleaning it up." Hargrove loomed closer. "Your kids always got an excuse." "I'm really sorry," Marcus said, voice trembling. "I'll pay for the water if—" "Don't get smart," Hargrove barked. Linda rushed over. "Officer, it's okay. It was an accident. I've got it." But Hargrove's focus was locked on Marcus. The boy's hands shook as he clutched the napkins, eyes wide, chest tight with a fear he knew too well. The diner had gone quiet. Forks paused midair. Someone coughed. "Stand up," Hargrove ordered. Marcus slid out of the booth slowly, heart pounding. "I said stand up straight." "I am," Marcus whispered, in a flash of anger, born from a bad week, a worse call earlier that day, and a lifetime of assumptions. Hargrove raised his hand and slapped Marcus across the face. The sound cracked through the diner like a gunshot. Marcus staggered, hand flying to his cheek. Tears burned his eyes, more from shock than pain. For a moment no one moved. Linda gasped, "Oh my God!" A man at the counter stood up. "What the hell is wrong with you?" Hargrove took a breath, chest heaving. "Kid needs to learn respect." Marcus didn't cry. He just stood there, silent, shaking, eyes fixed on the floor. In his pocket, his phone buzzed. He hadn't noticed the missed calls earlier. but he felt it now, like a lifeline vibrating against his leg. "Go home," Hargrove said sharply, "before you get into real trouble." Marcus nodded, grabbed his hoodies, and walked toward the door. His legs felt like they belonged to someone else. Before he reached it, the door swung open. A tall man in a rain-soaked jacket stepped inside, scanning the diner with alert eyes. His gaze landed on Marcus instantly. "Marcus," he said, voice tight. "There you are." Marcus looked up. "Dade." The man crossed the room in 3 long strides and knelt in front of his son, hands gentle but urgent. "What happened to your face?" Marcus tried to smile. "It's nothing. I'm okay." The man's eyes flicked to the red mark blooming on Marcus's cheek. His jaw clenched. He stood slowly and turned to face Officer Hargrove. The room felt smaller now. "Did you touch my son?" the man asked, voice calm but cold. Hargrove straightened. "Sir, your boy was causing a disturbance." "A disturbance?" the man repeated. He reached into his jacket and pulled out a leather badge holder, flipping it open with practiced ease. "Special Agent James Reed, Federal Bureau of Investigation." A ripple moved through the diner like a sudden wind. Hargrove's face drained of color. James Reed didn't raise his voice. He didn't threaten. He simply looked at the officer, his eyes steady, unwavering. "My son came here to buy himself lunch," James said. "He spilled water, and you decided to slap him." Hargrove swallowed. "I was maintaining order." Linda stepped forward, voice shaking but firm. "No, you weren't." He was polite. "He did nothing wrong." Others nodded. Someone murmured, "That's true." James placed a hand on Marcus's shoulder. "Son, did you say anything disrespectful?" Marcus shook his head. "No, sir." James exhaled slowly, then looked back at Hargrove. "You know, I've spent 20 years chasing people who abuse power. I've seen what happens when no one speaks up." He paused, letting the words settle. "And I've also seen what happens when someone chooses to stop." Hargrove's radio crackled again, but he didn't answer it. James turned to Linda. "Thank you for trying to protect him." She wiped her eyes. "I should have done more." James shook his head. "You did enough." He reached into his wallet and placed a few bills on the counter. "For the meal, and for anyone else who needs one today." The tension in the room softened, replaced by something warmer, heavier. James knelt again, meeting Marcus's eyes. "You okay?" Marcus nodded, this time for real. "Let's go home," James said. As they walked toward the door, the man from the counter spoke up. "Hey, kid." Marcus turned. "You dropped this," the man said, holding out the folded dollar bill. Marcus hesitated, then smiled. "Thank you." Outside, the rain had slowed to a mist. James held the door open, hand resting protectively on his son's back. Behind them, Officer Hargrove stood alone in the diner, staring at his reflection in the window, at the uniform, the badge, and the moment that had just changed something he hadn't realized was broken. Marcus stepped into the gray afternoon, cheek still warm, heart steadier now, carrying with him the quiet knowledge that kindness had found him, even in a place where it almost hadn't.